You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith. Hey there, Sprouts. Today is Monday, February 24th, 2020. This week on the Catholic Sprouts podcast, we are going to get ready for Lent, and then we're going to dive in because Ash Wednesday is this Wednesday. So to do that, we are going to talk about what Lent is and what you can expect to see, hear, feel, and do this year and every year during Lent. So first of all, let's talk about what is Lent. Well, Lent is the 40 days running up to Easter. Lent starts on Ash Wednesday and it ends on Easter Sunday. Now, if you take out a calendar and you count all of the days between Ash Wednesday and Easter Sunday, you're going to discover that it's actually more than 40 days. Well, why is that? Well, it's because the Sundays between Ash Wednesday and Easter Sunday are not actually a part of Lent. Each Sunday throughout the whole year, even during Lent, are many Easters. So in a way, they aren't really part of Lent. And as you go through Lent, you can continue your Lenten observances on Sundays, or you can take a small break and get back to Lent on the following Monday. So that's what it is. It is the 40 days before Easter. Now, why did the church, in her wisdom, set apart these 40 days before Easter? Why do we do all these different special things to prepare for Easter? Well, Lent is a special time of repair. Now, think about a car for a moment. Imagine that you have a car and you use it every single day. You take it on long trips. You do all sorts of things with your car. Now, we know that a car doesn't just keep on going forever, especially not if we ignore it. Now, there's lots of things that need to be repaired or fixed or even just maintained with a car. You might need to get new tires, change the oil, and if you get into a car accident, then you have to do all sorts of other repairs. In a very similar way, we need to be repaired. We use ourselves, our minds, our souls, our bodies every single day, all the time. And we can get into accidents or get into bad habits. And during the rest of the year, we might not have the time to really focus on repairing those things. But Lent is that time. Lent is a time when we are called to make room for God. Our lives are very full and we do all sorts of things. Some of them are good and some of them are bad, and some of them really aren't good or bad. But everything we decide to do takes up time. Lent is a time to clear away and to put God into those places that we have cleared away. For example, Lent is a good time to maybe play less video games or watch less TV. Instead of just not doing those things, we don't watch maybe 30 minutes of TV each day, and instead we spend that time in prayer or reading about a saint's life or spending time with a brother or sister. It's about making room for God. Because, of course, when we are setting about to repair ourselves, we can't do that on our own. The only way that our soul will be repaired is if we give God an opportunity to do that, because only He can repair us. So that is what Lent is about. Lent is about making room for God and allowing Him to do the necessary repairs on us. That might include breaking a bad habit if we're really into candy, or video games. It also might just include doing better with our time, choosing to put God into our time and less distractions or entertainment. So today we are going to get into the first thing that we can expect to experience during Lent, and that is the various things that we will see as we get into the Lenten season. Now, the first thing that you are going to notice as we get into Lent is that the color purple will be everywhere. The priest will be wearing purple, and also at various churches, as you get a little further into Lent, we even use purple cloths to drape sacred art, even the crucifix. They will be covered in purple. Now, why purple? Well, the color purple represents penance, which is something we can do to repair ourselves. It also represents preparation, which is why we also see purple in Advent. And finally, purple represents sacrifice. The sacrifice, of course, that we are leading up to in Lent, which is Jesus Christ dying on the cross. Other things that you hopefully will see more of during Lent is the crucifix itself. Remember, Lent is leading up to Holy Week. And Holy Week, we celebrate all sorts of things. Jesus coming into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, but then, of course, also the Last Supper and the crucifixion. To really get into what happened on Good Friday, another beautiful thing that you will probably see and experience are the Stations of the Cross. Most churches have the Stations of the Cross hanging around the sides of the church. Lent is a great time to actually go to your church and say the Stations of the Cross. This is also something beautiful that you can do even in your own home. So that is what you can expect to see during Lent. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about what you can expect to hear and feel during Lent. But today, my challenge for you is to do one small step toward preparing for Lent. I challenge you to go and download your very own Lenten calendar that is updated for 2020. You can find the direct link to it in the notes for this podcast episode. Totally free. Go print it and hang it up. At the bottom, you will write down your resolutions for giving alms, prayer, and fasting. And we'll go into those a little bit more tomorrow. But make sure that you print it and hang it up so that you can have a very holy Lent this year.
That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow. But until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be. Well, I hope you are enjoying listening to Father K this week. As you listen, I have 2 challenges for you to work through all week long. First of all, pray very hard for priests, particularly for the priest that serves your parish. And next, spend time in prayer, contemplating if God is calling you to a vocation in the priesthood or religious life. Wonder about that. Ask God and spend time having Him answer that question for you.